So TNT is back down to 30,000 miles. So finally, we got off that 50,000 miles. And the 50,000 miles, I consider that it wasn't good. I don't think it worked out. I think we had more people quitting during TNT because 50,000 miles was a lot to do on TNT. So we're back down to the 30,000 miles. And from what I understand, as soon as you get to 30,000 miles, you'll be put on the list to upgrade to a truck. So once you get on that list, they're going to start paying you $800 a week for the guarantee instead of $700. A little bit about the breakdown on the pay is that the $700 guarantee is whenever you're available for dispatch. So that means like you're running loads, you're out there working, maybe you're waiting on the load. It's not going to consider home time as a guarantee. So if you're at home on home time, you're not getting that $700 guarantee. So just remember that while you're on TNT. If you go home, you're not going to get that. Pretty much a breakdown of it is it's pretty much $100 a day. You know, $100 a day that you're on TNT. No matter if you're stuck at a shipper, you're parked in a truck stop waiting on your next load, whatever, you're getting that $700 a day, which breaks down to about $100 a day. So that TNT phase, we're back down to 30,000 miles. I think it's a great thing because the 50,000, that's a lot of miles. If you don't know your stuff, if your TNT trainer hasn't taught you everything in 30,000 miles, then like you're a slow learner and you might need the extra time. So if you don't feel like you've learned everything, or your trainer doesn't feel like you learned everything that you need to know to be successful, like I could see people staying on the trucks longer. Hey, can I stay on the truck a little bit longer? I'm not too confident right now. I need to build up some confidence, and there's still some stuff I need to learn. So go ahead and, you know, stay on the truck a little longer. If the trainer feels like, hey, I think it would be a good idea for you to stay on the truck a little while longer, I still got some stuff for you to learn, you might want to take that advice and stay on that truck and go ahead and learn the rest of the stuff you needed to learn. You know, there's a lot of stuff to learn on TNT. Mainly it's the macros for loads and hours of service, but then there's a lot of stuff about what to do at shippers, what to do if you're in certain situations that, like, say you don't get a load for a while. Should I message my dispatcher? Should I give them some time? Everybody does things differently, so it's good to learn how your trainer does it and then build the way you want to do it. If you're just scared to get off of your trainer's truck because you're not confident, I'm going to tell you right now, whenever my trainer gave me the boot, he said, hey, it's time for you to upgrade. Like, I was unconfident and I was scared, and I was like, oh no, I'm going to be by myself now. Like, nobody's going to help me back into a spot. Like, if I get into trouble out there, I'm like nervous. I tell you what, I tell people a lot of times, man, I really learned how to back whenever I got off of TNT. So like I pretty much knew how to do it, and my trainer, I wasn't waking my trainer up at the end. He wasn't helping me back, and like I was doing it, but it's a whole nother monster when you don't got that crutch or that person to help you. You're like, man, it's not working out. Oh, what do I do? Like, get out and look a whole bunch. The more times you get out to look, other drivers will see this and they'll be like, hey, should I go see if that dude needs help? And then they'll be watching you and they'll be like, you know what, he needs some help. I'm going to get out and help him. I'm going to get out and spot him, because I've been there. Like, I had one of the first docks I went to was real tight, and it probably wasn't as bad as I feel like it was, but back then I was brand new, so what I remember is it was so tight, like there wasn't no room between the trailers, but it wasn't that bad. There just wasn't a lot of room to pull up. So I kept getting out to look, back up a little, get out to look, back up a little, and this older man, he jumped out of his truck and he said, hey, let me help you out, man. You've been getting out to look, you've been doing it safely, so I'm gonna make it a little bit easier on you. I'm gonna watch this side for you and back up. You know, he helped me out, and you know, that was awesome. He told me like this, he said, look, I don't help many people because they're too lazy to get out that truck and look. They'll just take the risk and just keep on backing. And I was like, wow. He was all like, but you kept on getting out. You were being safe. You backed up a little bit, got out to look again. He goes, you were being safe. So I figure I'll go help this driver out. And then he was the first person to call me a driver. I was like, oh, look at me, driver. I'm the driver. Like, I'm a driver. Like, wow. Like, for reals, I'm a driver. So, like, he looked at me like an equal, and I was like, wow, I'm you know, the saying, green behind the ears, you know, I'm fresh out the schooling, like, I'm new. But he was cool. He called me a driver. Like, that was the first time I got called a driver, you know. And, like, people that, you guys have been out here driving for a while, truck driving, you know, doing this, professional drivers out there, you know what it feels like when somebody calls you a driver. That's like, oh, utmost respect right there. Hey, driver, how's it going? Like, that means like, hey, we're drivers, man, we do this. So it was like the utmost respect, man. My head was big after that. I was like, he called me a driver. I think I even called my wife and told her about it. Hey, I had this hard dock, this guy got out to help me, and he called me a driver. Like, that's me. But, you know, there's a lot of stuff on TNT that maybe you don't run across. So, like, if you're also having trouble with the macros and stuff like that, you can always ask your fleet manager. Your fleet managers, they know those macros. So, like, I've ran into that before. Like, I forgot the macro maybe to get a PO from like a scale ticket or something like that. I hit up my fleet manager, hey, I can't find this macro, which one is it, or what do I do in this situation? And he'll send me a message, hey, fill out this macro. You know, like, you have a blowout on the side of the road, you need to know, hey, message road assist. And there's actually a macro on here. I don't remember the number, but there's actually a macro on here that is for you guys that had a blowout on the road, and it's like an emergency for road assist. I'm trying to look it up right now, see what it is. It's a macro 30. So you get the macro 30. It's a roadside emergency report. So you go ahead and fill that out. It asks you questions like, first it tells you roadside emergency report. Be sure to fill out the entire message. Dial *55 or 911 and ask for emergency vehicle to set behind you with the lights on. It wasn't that big of an emergency if it's a blowout. I'm really not going to have that happen. But it asks you which tire, is your mud flaps gone, like your airbags, describe damage, tell them what happened. Like, I fill out that right there. It even has the tire position, the mile marker you're at, the road you're on, any landmarks around you. You know, was it the truck or trailer? I mean, there's a lot of stuff on there. Fill out that whole thing and they'll get that tow truck out there. To me, that one, I sent that out and they got me fixed up really fast. But if I send Road Assist a message for like, hey, you know, I got a blink, like, I got this going on with my truck, what you want me to do with it? You want me to put it in the shop or whatever? You might get a message back in a long time. But I found out that that one right there is very useful because they got the truck, the on-road people out there pretty quick from the TA. They came out there, changed my tires real fast, got me moving again. So there's a lot of stuff that you're gonna learn after you get off of TNT. A lot of it you can just ask your fleet manager or send a message to your fleet manager, call them, whatever you need to do, and he can pretty much walk you through everything. Fleet managers heard of any problem you might run into by now because they have 80 something trucks and there's somebody that called them with every problem. I don't suggest calling the fleet manager and saying, hey, I'm wondering if I could take a shower. Like, that's your business. Like, do that during your 10-hour break or whatever. Like, don't be calling them up and say, hey, is it a good idea to take a shower tonight when I stop? You don't want to hear that. And trust me, that does happen. So don't be calling your fleet managers and asking them if you can take a shower. That's common sense stuff. Like, if you have some common sense stuff, like, handle your business. It's your truck. It's your it's all that's your stuff. Like, you take care of your business. If you got a serious question that you need to hit up a fleet manager on, call them up. Call them up. Tell them what's going on. Hey, I got this, and this going on, man. I need your help. He'll tell you what to do. Like, fleet manager's like your best friend out there. So he gets you your loads and stuff like that. You're gonna be fine after TNT. But the main thing is the 30,000 miles we get. You do 30,000 miles and you get an upgrade now. So it's a lot shorter instead of 50,000 miles. If you want to know how long that is, take the mileage and divide it by 5 for 5,000 miles a week on average, and then add you a week of home time. So in about 7 weeks, something like that, 7 weeks, 8 weeks, you know, it's gonna take about that long to upgrade. You got some guys out there doing 6,000 miles a week. Those guys that are doing 6,000 miles a week, you're gonna get out of there faster. You're gonna get off of TNT faster. The 6,000 miles a week, 6,000 something, you know, you're gonna get off of it faster. There's bad weeks out there, so that's the reason why nobody can put a real time frame on TNT, is because we don't know what's gonna happen out there. Like, you might get stuck in a blizzard. We're moving on to summertime right now, so I don't think you'll get stuck in a blizzard. I hope you don't, but if you do, you know, it's gonna take some time. So we're moving into the end of winter right now. Summer's about to be around the corner. You know, all that good stuff. I'm ready for some warm weather. I'm soaked right now. I've been out on the pad in the rain. It was pouring down rain. My student was out there backing because I had to get him some backing practice in for his test tomorrow. So I was out there. I was getting drenched. Like, my shoes are soaked. I'm soaked. But hey, man, it's whatever it takes to get your student the best quality of training he can. Like, get him fully ready for his test. Hey, if you like the videos, man, hit that subscribe button over there. Give it a thumbs up. Those are always good. Question, comments, and concern goes right down there in the comments. Definitely subscribe. If you want me as your trainer, you have to do it before you get here. So I got a link in the description. Click on that. It'll send you to a little video on how to get me for your trainer. But definitely, before you get here, like, you have to do the stuff in that video. Thanks for everyone for subscribing and listening. Congratulations, we're back to 30,000 miles of TNT.